Welcome to Pippajack Gaming, where today we're going to open up 3 packs of Dungeons & Dragons Forgotten Realms. We're going to open these guys up and check out and see what we get. The art card of a Draughtless Cube. Art is by Phil Stone. It's 71 out of 81. Got Island. The islands actually tell a story, a little bit of a story on there. And then we're going to end up bouncing over into a Despicer Beast. It costs us a blue and 2 for a cat beast. When it enters the battlefield, venture into a dungeon. Despicer Beast also has displacement, where it costs us 3 and a blue. Return Despicer Beast to its owner's hand. As a 3/2 body. You hear something on watch. Costs us 1 and a white for an instant. Choose one. Ruse the party. Creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. Set off traps. This spell deals 5 damage to a target attacking creature. Dire Wolf Prowler. Costs us 2 and a green for a wolf. Tap 1 green and tap 1. Dire Wolf gets a +2/+2 and gains haste until end of turn. Activate this ability once per turn. Has a 2/2 body. Evolving Wilds is a land that we can end up sacrificing it and looking for a basic land. It comes in the battlefield tapped. Walleth Troll costs us 3 and 2 green for a troll who has a 6/2 body. We could pay 3 and a green, roll a d20, activate this only if Walleth Troll's in your graveyard. So, if we get 1 through 9, Walleth Troll goes on top of our library. If we get 10 through 19, it goes to our hand. If we get 20, it enters the battlefield tapped. Burning Hands. It costs us a 1 and a red. For an instant, Burning Hands deals 2 damage to a target creature or planeswalker. If the permanent is green, Burning Hand deals 6 damage instead. Chaos Channeler costs us 2 red and 2 for a human shaman. Has Wild Magic Surge. Whenever Chaos Channeler attacks, roll a d20. Has a 4/3 body. And 1 through 9, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card this turn. If we get 10 through 19, exile the top 2 cards of your library. You may play them this turn. And then we also have, if you roll a 20, exile the top 3 cards of your library this turn. You may play them this turn. Well, that's something unique. We got another, you hear something on watch. Then we have an Inspiring Bard. When an Inspiring Bard enters the battlefield, choose one. Barbaric Inspiration. Target creature gets +2/+2 until end of turn. Or Song of Rest. You gain 3 life. Orb of the Dragonkind costs us 1 and a red, which is our rare. For our artifact, we may pay 1, tap it, add 2 mana, any combination of colors. Spend this mana only to cast a dragon spells or activate dragon abilities. Pay 1 red, tap it, sacrifice it, and then we get to look at the top 7 cards of our library. You may reveal a dragon card from among them and put it into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your library in any random order. And then we got Urza's Blueprints, costs us 6. It's an artifact that has Echo. During your next upkeep step, after this permanent comes under your control, pay the casting cost or sacrifice it. Tap it, draw a card. From concept to paper to reality. It's the flavor text on that bad boy. And our foil is a Steadfast Paladin. Costs us 1 and a white for a Dwarf Knight. has lifelink, and it's a 2/2 body. That pack was very, very meh. There's the Mind Flare pack. We got a creature card of Balisk. Ends up breaking down the armor class, hit point, speed, and attacks, and all of its basic stats. And there's the art for it. Got a mountain. Arboreal Pegasus costs 3 and a white for a Pegasus. Flying, and when it enters the battlefield, target creature gets a +1/+1 and gains flying until end of turn. It has a 2/3 body. Deadly Dispute costs 1 and a black for an instant. As an additional cost to cast this spell, sacrifice an artifact or a creature. Draw 2 cards and create 2 treasure tokens. The treasure tokens can be sacrificed, and we can add 1 mana of any color. Split Your Goal costs 1 and a black for a zombie. Sacrifice another creature. The goal gets +2/+2 until end of turn. You only can do that ability once per turn. Has a 2/1 body. Price of Loyalty costs 2 and a red. Has a sorcery. Gain control of a target creature until end of turn. Untap that creature. It gains haste until end of turn. If mana from a treasure was spent to cast this spell, that creature gets +2/+0 until end of turn. Teresa, the Moon Dancer, costs a green and a white. It's a legendary elf cleric. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on it. And Scry 1 has a 2/2 body. Scry lets us look at the top card of our library. If we want it, we could leave it there, or we could end up putting it at the bottom. We got a cleric class that costs 1 white. If you gain life this turn, you gain that much life +1 instead. Or we could pay 1 white and 3 and bring it up to the level 2. Whenever you gain life, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. Then we could end up having access to the next level, which would be a white and 4 for level 3. When it becomes a level 3, return a target creature card from our graveyard to the battlefield. You gain life equal to its toughness. Moonblessed Cleric costs 1 white and 2 for a human elf cleric. Has Divine Intervention. When it enters the battlefield, you may search your library for an enchantment card, reveal it, and shuffle your deck, and then put that on top. It has a 3/2 body. Dawnbreaker Cleric costs 1 and a white for a human cleric who has a 1/3 body. When it enters the battlefield, we get to choose 1. Cure wounds, gain 2 life, dispel magic, destroy a target enchantment, or Gentle Repose is exile a target card from a graveyard. Abundant Mind Sorcerer costs 4 and a blue for a human elf shaman. That has a 3/4 body. His psionic spells, so when it enters the battlefield, choose a target instant or sorcery card in your graveyard, then roll a d20. 1 through 9, you may put that card on top of your library, or 10 through 20, return that to your hand. And then we got the Monk class. It's a blue and a white. The second spell that you cast each turn costs 1 less to cast. Or we could level it up to level 2 by paying a blue and a white. It will allow us to return 1 target non-land permanent to its owner's hand. After we get to 2, we could go to 3 and pay 1 colorless, 1 white, and 1 blue. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of your library. For as long as it remains exiled, you may cast this card as long as you casted another spell this turn. That's our rare that's out of the pack. And then we got the Scaled Herbiros as the foil, which costs us 1 and a green for a Lizard Druid as a 1/3 body. You could tap it, put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. And the final card, which originally printed in Innistrad, is a Visible Stalker. Costs us a blue and 1. Has hexproof. That means it can't be targeted of spells or abilities. And it also is unblockable for 1/1. Alright. Well, it looks like the humans ended up going down, because I would say the Mind Flayer is winning for right now. But now let's see what the dragons bring to the table. Opening up the dragon pack, we start right off the get-go with the art card. A little bit magic missile action. Card 48 out of 81. Alright, here we go. We got a Plains. Fancy art of a Baleful Beholder. Costs us 4 and 2 black for a Beholder. When it enters the battlefield, we get to choose one. We got Anti-Magic Cone, where each opponent sacrifices an enchantment or a Fear Ray. Creatures you control gain menace until end of turn. Has a 6/5 body. Then we got a Silver Raven. Costs us 1 blue for a bird. Has a 1/1 body. It has flying. And when it enters the battlefield, we get to scry 1. We got a Plundering Barbarian. That costs us 2 and a red for a Dwarf Barbarian. When it enters the battlefield, we get to choose one. We could smash the chest, destroy a target artifact, or we could pry it open, create a treasure token. And it's a 2/2 body. Circle of the Moon Druid costs us 2 and a green for a human elf druid. It has bear form. As long as it's your turn, Circle of the Moon Druid is a bear with a power and toughness of a 4/2. Has a 2/4 regularly. That only happens during your turn though. Red Dragon. Costs us 2 red and 4 for a dragon. Flying. Fire Breathe. When Red Dragon enters the battlefield, it deals damage. Or it deals 4 damage to each opponent. Has a 4/4 body. Ray of Frost costs us 1 and a blue for an enchantment that has flash. Enchant creature. When Ray of Frost enters the battlefield, if enchanted creature is red, tap it. As long as the enchanted creature is red, it loses all abilities. Enchanted creature doesn't untap during controller's untap step. Dagnar Demon Thing Gnome costs us 1 red and a green for a Gnoll, who's a legendary creature, has pack tactics. Whenever it attacks, if the creatures that you attacked has the power of 6 or greater, all in total, this combat, all the attacking creatures get +1/+0 until end of turn. We could pay 2, a red and a green, and double the power and toughness of this creature. Of this Dagnar. Feywild Trickster costs us 2 and a blue for a Gnome Warlock. Whenever you roll 1 or more dice, create a 1/1 blue fairy dragon creature with lion. Has a 2/2 body. Looks like one of the rares. That's right. We have more than 1 rare in this pack. Lair of the Hydra. It's a land. If you control 2 or more lands, Lair of the Hydra enters the battlefield tapped. Tap, add a green. We can pay X and a green until end of turn. Lair of the Hydra becomes an XX green Hydra creature. It's still a land. X can't be 0. Goat's Ithrolid Scholar costs us 1 and 2 blue for a legendary creature. That's a horror. It's a 3/2 body. Whenever a creature you control becomes blocked, you may return it to its owner's hand. Whenever one or more creatures you control deal combat damage to a player, draw a card. And then we got a Foily Feather Fireball. It costs us 2 red and 3 for an instant. When Fireball deals 5 damage to a target creature or planeswalker, and then we roll a d20. 1 through 9, Fireball deals 2 damage to each player. 10 through 20, Fireball deals only 2 damage to each opponent. And then we got a Chemist's Insight. Costs us 3 and a blue for an instant. Draw 2 cards. Jumpstart. This means we may cast this card from the graveyard by discarding a card in addition to paying its mana cost. Well, I have to say they really lack of luster, but I would say the dragons would have it. What would you think? Let us know down in the comments below. If you're liking the content that we're putting out, like, subscribe, and hit that little bell icon to be notified about any of our future content. I'd also like to thank you for watching us. And until next time, we'll see you later.